Hi guys. So hello. Yeah. My first person to come on live. Thank you. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know so that I can know what to do. Hi, my CIH people. I'm so happy to see you guys. Honestly, I feel so good when I come on live to see all of your faces. Yes, so I'm just gonna put, okay, thank you, blessing. I'm just gonna put a description of what this life is all about, and we'll get started soon. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hi, Uzoma, thank you. Oh, great. I'm glad you can hear me. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Yeah, so how are you doing? So we are just waiting for Udu to join us soon. Also, hey Treasure, we're just waiting for Udu to join us soon. And yeah, can you see the description? I'm trying to see if I can put it in the comment section. I'll put it out. I'll pin the comment. Yeah, so this live session is going to talk in detail how to make a study permit, how to apply for Canadian jobs from Nigeria, secrets to getting a visitor's visa, and how to migrate through the provincial pathway. A focus with the provincial, with the Saskatchewan province. Yeah, and joining me on this live will be Udu Ezwe. She is the principal partner of Greens on Grandina Immigration Consulting. She's an RCIC member. And when I mean an RCIC member, I mean that she is a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So she's licensed by the laws of Canada to officially authorize and help people through their permanent residency pathway, study pathway, all sorts of visa applications into Canada, you understand? So she would be joining me soon, and yeah, I'm excited. So make sure you get your questions ready, because this session is going to be brief, just 45 minutes, and no, time is money. Just 45 minutes, and so get your questions ready. I am currently waiting for you. Please invite your friends, tell everybody to come. Tell your friends, your parent, your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your colleagues, your neighbors, everybody you know to join this session. Although this session will be saved on my private wall, so you would not have to stress if you cannot make this session. You would always be able to go back to listen to it. So in the meantime, while we are expecting, let me see if I can reach Udu. Yeah. Let me just send her a message. So while we are expecting Udu, how are you, and what have you been up to? I just want one or two people to tell me what they've been up to in this, since the last time I met you online. I came on a live video. What have you been up to? What are you currently doing? Sorry, I have dry lips and dry skin, so I always use my moisturizing lip balm. So making another say I always put for my lip. Making another vessel. So this is, I always carry this on about. Anyways, so what have you been up to? Let's see if Udu is here. Thank you. No, she's not here yet. So okay, thank you, Flora. Yeah. Kisses. Thank you. You said I'm glowing. Thank you. Like people would say, it is the Lord's doing. You know, when you are glowing, they say it's the Lord's doing. So I would also say it's the Lord's doing. Anyway, so Udu will be coming in here. She's, like I said, she's an RCIC. She's licensed by the Canadian laws to help you support your application with all sorts of visa applications that you need. Oh, great! Please send me an invite. Yeah, she's coming in with her page. So please, guys, follow her page for all of your immigration questions. And see, Udu is not free. So before you reach out to her, ensure that you're ready to pay for her fees. You understand? So don't reach out to people with the hopes that they would offer you free services. No, nobody offers free services. So follow her and reach out to her when you have issues with your immigration, and know that her fees are not free. Yeah, so please send me a request so that I can okay, let me see if I can send her a request. invited Udu and she invited you. Yes. Okay, it's adding up. So let's get started. I'm so excited about this session. Honestly, you cannot understand my joy. Yeah, I'm so happy for this session. Thank you, Grace on Grandil Name Immigration Consulting, for doing this with me. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hello, B.
Hi.
Good to,
This is you.
good to see you.
Same here too. Same here too. Thank you so much for coming on this session. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. Thank you. Okay, so I think I've done a brief introduction about you. I told my people that you are RCIC, you are licensed by the Canadian law to help support applications, all sorts of applications, and you have a couple of publications, a whole lot of achievements. Yeah, the post is currently on my wall. So anybody who wants to know more about Greece on how do you pronounce Grandi? Is it Grandina?
Greece on Gardiner.
Okay, Gardiner. Okay. Anybody wants to know more about you can look up on the post on my wall. Yeah, so we can get started, and yeah, you can do a basic introduction of who you are, why do people need RCIC, and what are the benefits of getting RCIC, because people tend to always go for agents. I feel like these agents do not or are not licensed to do these things for them, and so they just charge a lot of money, and most times they paint big stories into, they don't paint the reality of this thing. So yeah, just tell us the benefits of using an RCIC and all of that. And please do not forget to mention that your fees are not free, so that anybody coming to you will know that your fees are not free. You understand? So that's clear. Yeah, so we can get started.
Thank you so much, B, for this beautiful opportunity. And it's not something I take for granted. It's because of people like you that will keep creating sensitizing our community to ensure that they find the right. Before I start, I would like to do a little bit of a land acknowledgement because I reside in Treaty 4 territory, the land of the indigenous people of Canada. So it has always been our desire to always acknowledge the land anytime we want to do anything. So I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the treaty land referred to as Treaty 4 territory, and that the city of the Regina and all the people here are beneficiaries of this treaty. Treaty 4 encompasses the lands of the Cree, the Saltes, Dakota, Lakota, and Lakota, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect and honor the treaties that were made on all territories. We acknowledge the harm and mistakes of the past, and we are committed to move forward in partnership with Indigenous nations in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. And despite the fact that we are almost meeting online, I'm also going to give you a minute to respect and honor the land in which you find yourself. Okay, thanks everyone. Are you people excited? Thanks for all you've been doing. I read about somebody who introduced you as a goddess, who just told your identity. I was like, oh my God. Wow. Okay, and after reading that, I now said, okay, now I know why some of the information I gave you said, no, not sharing that. That means sharing too much. I said, oh, just you have fallen a victim, I understand. Okay, I just want to tell everybody, grab your paper and your pen. So anywhere, we know where you're chatting from. Today is actually my first time of coming live in somebody's platform, right? Yeah. Today, I have never been live. I only went live the first time when I became licensed. And I think today is my first time of coming live in somebody's platform. And I appreciate this. And I will take it to the Royal Bank and bank it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to use this opportunity to sensitize everyone. The issue that is going on right now is about whether visitors can work in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Tony Osondu, and I am lead consultant of the Queen's and Cardinal Immigration Consulting Clinic. I am licensed to provide immigration consulting services in Canada. I am also a registered social worker of subtraction, non-practicing. So I went to University of Regina, where I obtained a bachelor's of social work. It's an academic silver prize award. Thereafter, I went to Queen's University in Ontario, Kingston, where I actually um, went for the immigration law and citizenship
Okay,
school.
somebody is saying that I think the right side of your screen is very blurry. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Let me
So
know
if
if
you
it is
can move
okay. I think
a bit, yeah. I think on my side it's this side, but it may be the right side for you. Yes.
okay. Let me see.
Yeah.
If it is okay, let me know.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, it's. Let me see. Oh no, move a bit to this side. Yeah, then
Is
move
it
your
okay now?
camera. Let your camera be in the middle. Let your camera be in the middle.
Okay. If it
Yeah,
is
I think
okay, let me know.
you close the window or close the curtain. Maybe. Yes, it's
Okay.
yeah, it's better like that. No, I think it's the light, the curtain. Yeah.
I can call my media to. Is it okay now?
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I think people are saying that it's echoing. I do not know why. Okay, somebody's saying I can barely hear. I don't know. Okay, somebody's saying
Like, can you still hear me?
yeah, let's see. Let's see. You can go on. I'm sure it's echo. The speaker's voice is echoing. What do we do to fix that? I don't
Is that
know.
okay now?
Is it okay now? Is our voice still echoing? The speaker's voice is echoing. The echo is much. Could barely. Let me see. It's still echoing. It's echoing. Oh, well, how do we? She's on 2 gadgets. Are you on 2 gadgets?
No. So what I'm going to do now, maybe I can go off the camera and come in again. Is that okay?
Yeah, but are you on 2 gadgets?
No, I am not.
Okay.
Maybe let me check my.
Yeah, it's still
Well, not
echoing. What are you using a laptop? Can you use an earpiece?
Okay, can I go up and maybe I can use my monitor for this and
Okay.
I'll leave it.
Okay, sure you can. I'll be here and I'll look out for your invite. Okay, it's background sound. She should log. Okay, so she will log off and log in back. And so let's see if may need to open a door. She's on 2 gadgets. No, she says she's on one. It's not clear. I want this one is clearer. Oh, okay, I see. Let's see. We would see if going off. So guys, don't leave. Don't leave. Sorry about all this technical and technical issues. Yeah. So, anyways, so we're just expecting her back, and let's see. So I want you, as you're waiting for her to come in, I want you to package your questions for her because the session is really going to be brief. It's not going to extend beyond 45 minutes when we start. You understand? 45 minutes from when we start, from when she enters. You understand? So yes. So package your questions. Have your questions ready. If you can, drop it in the question section of this live video. You understand? Yeah. So okay. Somebody's saying possible ways to travel to Saskatchewan through visiting visa. Okay. Yeah, so just pack it. It's still echoing, please. No, she's not here. Is it my own voice that is echoing? She's gone off. Or are you watching the previous are you far behind in time? Oh, thank you, Blessing and Darcy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, my skin is beautiful. Oh, thank you. Nice brows. Thank you. I do my brows myself. You know, I should do this cook a brow marathon brow making up. You understand? And I should be on the Guinness Book of Record as the first person to make up our own brows, you know. I'm kidding. Okay, nice. So let's hope that she comes back and it's clearer. So please do not leave. I don't want to see that these numbers will reduce. I don't want to see people going out. You do not have permission to leave, because this is a free session and this is going to unlock some secrets you need to know. And if you want to pay for this thing, if you want to pay for these things, it's going to cost you a lot. Our CIC guys don't play. Their money is huge, but they do the work for you. So ensure that you're here. Just give yourself, invest in just 45 to 1 hour of your time, and you will be glad you did. So I do not want to see that. If I see anybody going, I'm seeing 99 people now. If I see anybody going, I'm going to come to your inbox and I'll change you your dreams. Yeah. I'll change you your dreams. And I will note your name. If you come to my inbox, I will not assign you. Yeah, I will not assign you. Okay, you know, I don't have brows, so I feel like this is the only thing I like in making up. Yeah, so tell me why my baby. Kisses. My baby, but my big baby. Yeah, my not so big baby. My not so small baby. Okay, so we're just expecting her back. Let me see if she sent an invite. Yeah, please, if you are in, just let me know. Okay, send me an invite. Okay, I'll do that now. Let's see. Okay, so I'm inviting you now, and let's see if you're welcome. I'm glad you appreciate it. Thank you. I'm inviting you now. Greens on grand dinner. And
I just okay now.
Okay, let's wait for people to catch up and see if it will be better. So please, guys, is it?
I can move away from here actually.
Okay, is it better now?
Is
our voice better now?
Hello?
Yeah, is it better now? Please let me know if our voice is still echoing. Now, wow, what do we go do now? How will we do to fix this echo?
So,
okay, so maybe it's better.
Is
the echo is
okay now? Because I have moved to another place.
Okay, still echoing. Now, wow, what do we go do now? How we go fix this echo thing?
Is it still echoing?
Let me see if I can quickly
Hold on, let my media manager look at it. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. They said it's echoing. You can see that. Okay, so it's coming. Said it will give me an earpiece.
Okay.
That is something I don't really like using.
Yeah, I know. She should use a mouthpiece. Okay, let's see. Yeah, she says that she's going to do that. So sorry about the delay. We apologize. And yeah, but it's better. It's still echoing, but it's better. Okay. She should remove her earplugs. Oh.
No, I'm not here.
Can't you move to Instagram or YouTube? Instagram or YouTube?
Amabi, have you checked your area to know whether you are logging into places?
Whether what? No, people say my own is better.
That one is better, yeah.
Is my can you guys hear my own voice? Is my own voice echoing?
No, your own is not echoing. Yeah. But I can hear myself.
Okay, you can hear yourself, right?
Yes, sharing is echoing, yeah. And I have moved out from the office to this place.
It's not from Omobi's end. Omobi, yours is perfect. Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay,
Omobi is good. Okay. Your side is clear. Okay, good. Another alternative, I don't know. Maybe we could, I don't know. Do we move to Instagram? But I don't know. Is it Facebook? Maybe you should mute her end and when she's talking. Okay, how do I do that? I will join back. Okay. Is the person working on it?
Yeah, so he's trying to check where the fault is coming from. Because I can actually hear myself, it's echoing.
Okay.
And I have moved from the office space to the meeting room.
The environment. Do you have an earpiece?
Just give me a sec. No, because it's beautiful. I'm using my phone and this. No, I did that. I've already left. No, she's the one hosting.
She echoes into your own gadgets. She should reduce the volume of her phone. Okay, can you reduce the mute your end while she's talking? How do I mute myself?
Okay,
I'm not seeing it.
I'm coming. I will leave again and return. Yeah, he said I should leave and return so that you can check the technicality of this. Yeah.
Okay,
So sorry, everyone.
yeah, time is going. Okay, somebody says you can continue. We can manage. Do you have an earpiece? If you have an earpiece, you can.
Don't worry. Let me just go and.
Okay. Wow. Okay, how do I mute her? Okay. When she comes back, I'll mute her and see if that would work. Okay, no need to mute. She can reduce the volume of her phone or use the earpiece. Yeah, I don't know why she's not using an earpiece. I think maybe because she's on her phone. I don't know. So let's see. The person in the room is the person connected to. If she's in this live, it would echo. Oh, okay. So what do we do to fix it? The fringe is fringing. Okay, if she comes back, I would see. No, muting is better. Some people are saying she has somebody in the room connected to the live. Oh, so does it mean the person should log off? Oh, you sent me a DM. Okay, I will check to respond to messages that do not acknowledge that you have to pay for my time. If you do not put that in your message, I would read your message, but I will not respond. So sorry, I cannot. If that is what's your message, if your message is not indicating that you need to pay for my time, now I would not respond. Sorry, but it's a personal principle, because if I have to give time, if I have to give 30 minutes to every message in my inbox, then I wouldn't have no life. I would do nothing else aside just attending to my inbox messages. And so I only prioritize people that are ready to pay for my time. So you have to indicate that you are ready. If you do not indicate that, I may see your message. Depends on my mood. I may see your message and not respond. And sometimes I respond and ask you to pay for my time, and then people abscond, but that's fine. So just doing all those shalaye so that you will not say that waiting you do these beeps. Okay, so the person in the room should mute earpiece. Okay, when she comes back, we'll see here. Let's see. I'm trying to see if she's back. You want my glasses? I will see if I give you my glasses. See you. Do you love me at all? Hey, the person should log off or reduce her volume. I mean, the person in the same space with her. Okay, when she comes, thank you, Uyi. Thank you so much, Uyi. You are too much. Thank you. Oh, nice. Okay, goodness. I see you. Okay, so what do we talk about now? Okay, she says I can send an invite. So let's see. So I'm sending an invite. Let's see. Yes. I'm adding her up. It's adding her up, and let's see if it will be better. Okay.
Let me know if it's okay now. I can't hear. It's good now.
Is it great?
Still echoing.
Okay. Somebody says that the person in the same room with you may be connected to you should log off. Somebody says the person in the same room with you who may be logged on into this live should log off. The person should leave, please.
Check if should I write using my laptop upstairs. Take away the Facebook. I'm going down. Hold on. Are you still logging into that one? You can exit from there. Have you? Okay. So can you hear me? Eh? Is it okay now?
There's still echo. Let's see. Let's go.
Mute. Let me see.
Let me see if I can mute. I'm muting you now. Let me see.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's no longer echoing. No, she muted herself. Yeah. So that's why I'm not echoing any longer. So, Amabi, can we go like this? Okay, she said yeah. So let me go back to the office so I can. I'm leaving the meeting room. I'm so sorry, everyone. Yeah, I am not so good in this way. Okay. So sorry. I'm going to make it up to you people. And it's one of those things. So I'm going to put it like this and go. Okay, so if you can hear me, let me see your emojis up. Okay, so my name is Ifitoni Osondo. I am a licensed immigration consultant, and I reside in Virginia, as I said earlier. So if you want to know if I am licensed to discuss Canadian immigration, you can go to the Government of Canada website, which is www.canada.ca. You type in and you find my name there. Then if an agent also tells you that, oh, I am an agent, this and that, if you want to confirm if that agent is licensed to provide Canadian immigration services, you can also go there, type in the name of that agent to see if you find that agent there. Because if I am using an agent, I am expected to register the person with the college so that the person will be able to carry out immigration consulting, to do some advertising or whatever for me. The person is not assisting me to provide immigration services. So if you are using an agent, you must have, and the person said he or she is an agent, all you need to do, you always have one-on-one interaction with the consultant. That is the way it works. So moving out from there, and let me just move to what is really raining now in Canada. And I'm not really finding it just so easy like that, because I am a human being, and sometimes you find out that those stories overwhelm you and you won't know where to start from. This issue of visitors working in Canada, please, if you have a visitor's visa, it is a visitor's visa. No one asks you to sell off your property. No one asks you to stop your kids from going to school. No one asks you to resign from your employment. You are not meant to do all those things because you are not coming as a permanent resident and you are not going for studies. Do you understand? Your visiting visa authorizes you to only stay for 6 months in Canada. And this is also left for the option of the immigration officer at the port of entry, because they can also say, oh, we are giving you only 30 days. That you have a 10 years visa does not really mean you have a 10-year stay in Canada. So what gives you the status you have in Canada is that stamp they put at the port of entry. That is your status in Canada. You know what I mean? So for example, now I am a student coming to Virginia to study. So, you want to put this on here? You can use this one. Yeah. Sorry, he said because we moved about, my meeting manager wants to. Okay, I should skip that one. Okay, thanks. Okay, so assuming you have a study permit, visitor's visa, 10 years coming to Canada, by law, you are authorized to stay minimum of 6 months in Canada. But when you arrive at the port of entry and the port and the CBSA officer say, hey, we are giving you only 30 days. That 30 days is your status in Canada. So at the end of that 30 days, before the end of that 30 days, if you don't really want to go back, you can write for extension of status. Please do not listen to anyone when they say, hey, no worries, you can always stay for 6 months. No, because they have already given you 30 days in the port of entry. So all you need to do is to write for an extension of your stay in Canada. And when you write for extension of stay in Canada, you have an implied status, a maintained status, meaning that you need to stay. You continue to stay at a visitor until you hear from them. If you hear from them and they ask you to leave Canada, they are not extending that status, please know that day will start counting from the date of the letter. So all you need to do is to leave Canada at once. If you do not leave Canada at once, or if the letter comes back, they will say, oh, from the date of this letter, we are giving you only 30 days to leave. And failure to leave, it will amount to departure status. And after 30 days, if you do not leave Canada, when they say depart, 30 days, if you do not depart after that 30 days, it will amount to something else. So it's always advisable for you to leave back to your home country. Then you stay there and make an application you're supposed to make before coming to Canada. So today I am going to show you.
I just wanted to add something briefly. I always tell people, so I unmuted you. I always tell people that if you're coming to Canada on visitor's visa, always have it at the back of your mind that you may likely go back because it's a visitor's visa. Because if you do not get a job within that space in time, or like you said, if your status is even shorter than what was even given to you from the visa office, just because it's a visitor's visa, just face the reality and face the reality that you may just have to go back. Don't pack your load, don't sell anything, don't resign your job, don't tell anybody bye-bye, you understand? It's a 50-50 thing, or even say 70-30 thing, because your status is hanging on so many things. So don't go back and just abandon everything. So that's what I wanted to say. I'll unmute myself and you can keep speaking.
Thank you so much, Amabi. So if you have a visitor's visa and you now say, I want to come to Canada to work, that's beautiful. But have in mind that you are using that opportunity to come and see if you want to get somebody who will give you a valid job offer. Valid job offer. When I say valid job offer, I mean the one supported by LMIA, a job offer that shows that there's no Canadian or no permanent resident that can do this job. It has to be approved and it has to be supported. I just want to tell you people that when you meet somebody or an agent, stop asking for, please give me work permit. You know why I'm saying this? By the time the visitor lands here, they will not like themselves because they got wrong information. And by the time they come to us, we will not be able to help. All that you keep hearing is that, oh, my friend told me that she is working. My friend told me that she is doing. There's some provinces that you will go to. If you go with your child, that child is not going to study because you are there with a visitor's visa. The only time they will allow that child to study is if that child is a stateless child. Maybe the child is like 16 years old or 15 years old. She came to this Canada with her parents, father or mother. That's section 30, I think 30A of the law. So that child will be allowed to study in Canada. But as soon as the parent steps into this Canada, that is when that child will stop studying because the parents is already there. So I just want to let you know that if you want to go to Canada and you have a work visa, you have a visitor's visa to travel to Canada, it is simple. So what you will do is that go to www.canada.ca. That is Government of Canada's official page. Everything I am telling you, I am not getting them on top of my head. Every information is there. So when you go in there, you type in, find a job. If you have a paper and a pen, you're typing it in because I am walking you through the computer because some of this information might have changed in the last minute. So I always use same-day information in attending to people. And that's why we call it Canadian Greens and Gardner Immigration Consulting Clinic. It's like a clinic whereby we use same-day information in reaching out to our clients. So if you go to Government of Canada's website, you select English and you type in jobs. When you type in jobs, you hit on find a job, you hit on job bank, it opens up. You will see search jobs from the Canada Summer Jobs Program. Just ignore that. Under find a job, you will see example like cook. So I can type in a caregiver. When you type in caregiver, you hit the browser button. So you scroll down. When you scroll down, keep looking back. Your left-hand side, the last button there is Canadians and international candidates. You can see that there's available job there, like 299. You click inside that box. When you click on it, you refine it. The job for caregivers will come out. You find out that in Alberta, they have like about 45. Then British Columbia, like 89. Manitoba, 5. New Brunswick, 1. Nova Scotia, 2. Then I will now say, oh, I prefer to go to Alberta. Let me go, or British Columbia, they have lots. Let me go to British Columbia. I'll click into that box. It will refine, and I will only have the jobs available for British Columbia. Then I'll click on the very first one to see what they are looking for. Living caregiver, seniors. When you click on it, it will open up. When you go down, scroll down, you'll find before the end where it said, show how to apply. It will tell you who can apply to this job. It says, the employer accepts application from Canadian citizens and permanent or temporary residents of Canada, other candidates with or without a valid Canadian work permit. These jobs are available for you to apply. You understand? You can apply for these jobs to see if you can hear from them. Then if there are lots, you can actually refine those ones and type them down, type in the province or the city, about 7 or 8. Then you come in with your visitor's visa. You can equally visit them one-on-one. And there's a possibility that these jobs that we are listed here is people like us that's packaging it. They are just a kind of creating an awareness to support the LMIA that there's no available one working for this. So you can come into that province or that city, visit those employers one-on-one if there's address there, or you can Google it. Everything about Canada, there's nothing secret about them. Everything is black and white. It is written. Even if when I tell you that I'm being paid $20 in my job, click on it, search for it online, you will see the amount. So you say live in caregiver, senior, caregiver, private household. This might be difficult for you to locate because this person is a private location, right? Is a private. When you go back, you look again. I can see babysitting caregiver. You can see some of these does not really have. So if you are a nurse too, this is how you can also go for. I can also do that of a nurse. Then I will go back again. Go again. Just to refine this search, to search for nurses. So when I instead of caregiver, I will click on it and put nurses or registered nurse. Let me put it that way. Registered nurse. I'll hit on this search button. When it opens up, I'll go back the way I came. You find out there's two. They have two. Okay, Mabi, you want to say something?
Yes, somebody is saying repeat the steps. So I wanted to say that we may not be able to go through the steps again, but when the live video ends, you would be able to go back to watch these things and write them down in bits. And I would also advise that these steps are things that you do before you come to Canada. Don't come to Canada and start preparing for these steps. It will be very difficult. So you want to cut off some time because your visitor's permit is limited and you do not have all the time. You do not have a permit that is everlasting, you understand? So you can do this homework before you come to Canada, you understand? And so that when you come, you are hitting the ground running and you're not bamboozled by, you're not being depressed. You now realize that, oh, where you come, or it's different from where you were coming from in Nigeria, or nobody told you these things you get. So just ensure that you do this test before you come. At least have something to work on before you come. Because when you come and you need this type of help, it will be very difficult. It's kind of like everybody is trying to, is it pay bills, or everybody is doing something. So people hardly have the time to sit down and mentor you. You would have to pay for people's time if you need mentorship. So it's very important that this session goes on, and then you do the work that you're supposed to do before you land. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Omobi. Thanks. So when you refine, you now find there's Canadian and international candidates. When you look at it, you find out there's actually 12 jobs. Oh, you'll be like, oh, 12 jobs, 2 in Nova Scotia. You click on this Nova Scotia to see what is even happening there. Registered nurse, Nova Scotia Health Authority, licensed practical nurse. You click on it. I can click on this one. Mind you that these jobs there, you need to see when it was posted because it's usually 30 days, right? So you look at this, you say, go back to where I showed you, you see employment groups, who can apply for this job. So a foreign national who is still in his or her home country can actually apply for this. So assuming that I can also send these people an email and say, oh, sorry, or if I am here, I can visit them, but only that this usually are big establishments. You can't usually go in there. They will always tell you, but it's always good for you to go in and drop in your resume and say, hey, can I see the line manager or whatever? I am this, I am that. Use it as an exploratory visit, right? Go and drop in your resume with them, have an initial talk with them, let them see you, drop it, move it to other places, search, refine for clinics or daycare or whatever. Drop in your resume and see if it will work for you. So some of them, when some people get job, what actually happens is that, assuming that I am running a daycare and you approach me, I will say, okay, I have a job for you. But the person can't just hire you. That the person said, I have a job for you, means that is a job offer, right? Verbal. But the person can't just hire you because there might be a Canadian or foreign national or permanent resident elsewhere that needs a job. So what the person will do is that the person might say, okay, no, I have this job, but let's see how it works. That is when the person approach, you can say, okay, let's look for an immigration consultant who can help us to perfect the LMIA. We'll come to the job bank because for every LMIA that is supported, that job must be listed in this job bank. That is the primary place. If it is not listed here, it will be queried. So that is why it is always good for you to always make this list your best stop place. Because if that job is available and I put it in maybe in Indeed or maybe Gaslow without coming to job bank to do that, it will not work. So we always place it here and place it on any other 2 new papers, making it 3 before. So once after that 30 days and no Canadian or permanent resident applies for this job, that is when we'll now carry all these things and go to the body in charge of it, put in the document of your future employers and everything, pay in the amount required. And when it is approved, they will check that employer doesn't have any existing issues or has not mistreated anyone, this and that. Once it is approved, then we'll bring it in and open an employment portal. The employer will now create what they call an employment number, an offer letter with an A number. So if that offer letter doesn't have an A number, don't accept it. Do you understand? So when it has an A number, that is when you're now ready to use it to go and apply for work. Do you understand? This is how it works. Please stop, because you find out that when they come in here and they start telling, oh, I need an LMIA. Nobody will keep an LMIA waiting for you. Some employers used to have it because they are big organizations. And the way LMIA works is this. It doesn't have anybody's name written on it. But some provinces like Saskatchewan want, if we are processing some of this job, whatever job offer, they always want the employer to have the name written, the name of the person that wants to hire written on that job offer. So it's one of their conditions when you're trying to follow it through SIMP route. Do you understand? So that is it there for number one. So assuming I am working for law, I'm an employer and I am law, I might have like say 18 offers because of the job I have, right? I do supported with LMIA. So I might look out for a consultant and say, hey, I want you I need three truck drivers. That is when I will now go to my book and say, oh, I can now come and shortlist and say, hey, if you're a truck driver, if you possess social qualities, meet with me, this is and that. I need to be convinced that you're a truck driver in your home country before approaching law to do all this. But it is wrong when you start saying, I need job offer, I need this, I need that, I need work. Because everybody coming to you, I need work. That is when people keep running into trouble. So for those that came with LMIA, that came with visitor's visa, sometimes they will see these people, they will say, oh, please, I need an LMIA. Those people they will meet me, tell them, pay 30,000, 40,000, and 50,000. When you look at yourself, you'll be like, you're already stranded. You don't know what to do. Some will come and tell you, oh, my friend say she came and she started working. But then you now tell the person, okay, talk to that your friend. Let your friend tell you what she has done. Friend is no longer picking calls. Some of them, people are not even being truthful because some of them came in and they declare refugee, yet they will not even want to tell you actually what they did. So that is it for that. So for another way you can come to Canada, if you're looking for a caregiver job, and it seems free and very easy, you can look for CCA. And if you're looking for CCA, that's continuous care ed. If you're looking for programs like this, you can look out for, you can just look for CCA. You look, oh, after doing this program, does this province actually have something for me? Because there's some provinces that have something for their international students because they wouldn't want you to go. They wouldn't want to train you. After training you, you return back to your home country. They will not really like that. So you find out that, for example, like I say, oh, Saskatchewan, I need to go and study CCA in Saskatchewan. CCA is continuous care ed. I can do that with Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention at this beginning or whatever. I am also an education consultant with the University of Regina and education consultant with Saskatchewan Polytechnic and education consultant with Luther College. So if you are trying to come here to study, if you want to study in these schools I mentioned, you are welcome to us. And if you are writing or your child is writing WAEC, please note that if you want them to study in Canada, please note that the only result they use in assessing any person, any grade 12, that is SS3 student that studied in Nigeria is WAEC. Please always have this at the back of your mind, that it is WAEC, nothing else but WAEC. So then I now move. So if you now want to study, you'll be like, oh, I want to do a caregiver job. But let me tell you, anybody can get admission in Canada. Admission is as easy as ABC, provided you can match it. But what is not easy is how you're going to satisfy the officer. How can you present this case to the officer? How would I show this officer that I'm a bona fide student and I also have intention to return? So anyone can apply for a job in Canada. And for example, maybe I read banking in Nigeria and I have been working in the bank for 15 years or 20 years. Now I make an application to come to Canada to study nursing. You can actually get admission into nursing. But how would you how would you convince these immigration officers, the visa officer, how would you convince the visa officer that you are a bona fide student? Because looking at it, oh, you have a banking and finance degree, then you have a banking and finance degree, number one. Then number two, you've been working in the bank in the last 15 years, and now you want to come and study nursing. So how would you put all this together? Even if I am the one, how will I look at this application? I will look at it, oh, this person just wants to come to Canada. This person is not ready to go back. But let me tell you the secret. Everything about Canada counts. You know, volunteer. Those things we do in Nigeria that we don't recognize, they are volunteers. You can also put it in place that, oh, the elderly, I've been taking care of them. My grandmother or my late grandmother or my father's mother, I was the one taking care of my late grandmother before the death. If you know, Nigerian family, we don't have extended a long-term home. So our home is always a place where our old ones or elderly ones retire at the end of the day. So this has always given me the time and the exposure needed and the passion to take care of the older ones in our society. Every night, I usually prepare meals, suitable meals, nutritious meals for my late grandmother. And I find out that as time goes on, what now happens to those that do not have their own child? Will they just die just like that? This is the diverse and oppressive society I want to look into. I've been working, it is true I have been working in the van for 15 years, but this is the passion I have been nursing aside. This is the volunteer I have been doing in my community. And now I'm looking forward to have it as my retirement package, whereby I will blow it big so that the aging population in our midst will look forward to retiring in a home whereby they will have everything working for them. A home where they will come together and see themselves as the same in-group, and see themselves as the same age mates, and see themselves, and see themselves as the same people. This is the future I have before me, and I just want to nurse it now that I am still young, healthy. You see the way it flowed. But by the time because everything, you need to do a very detailed statement of purpose to show them that you know what you are doing. You need to let them know why you are also coming to Canada to study. You need to do a very beautiful research. You need to tell them, oh, Canada has been, the way Canada talk to their aged ones, the way they relate, the soft manner whereby they talk is what I want to bring back, because you need to tell them the social issue you want to solve in your country. So now I'm going back to getting the CCA. I'll say, okay, CCA, caregiver job. Instead of asking for caregiver job, which is this usually an employer-specific, a closed work permit, right? Then I can say, oh, I have 16,000 Canadian dollars, 17,000. Let me just research the school to attend to. I can actually attend Saskatchewan Polytechnic, but they usually have seat capacity, right? Because for now, you can't find caregiver job till maybe, I think September intake is when it will open, because it's filled to the brim now. So what they will usually do, but I think Prince Albert, I don't know, but I'm just giving you instances. So when you now get Saskatchewan caregiver job, no, CCA in Saskatchewan, you apply, you get this. When you get this package, it is a sure way for you to bring your spouse, and your spouse can work full-time while you go to school. Formerly, a student is only allowed to work like 20 hours, but with COVID has its own positive sides, right? So COVID brought in lots of public policy that really changed a lot of things. So now students can work longer than that 20 hours till, I think, December 2023. So while you are now going to school as a student, your husband will be working full-time. Fortunate enough, if he's working full-time with an employer for 6 months, he can apply for SIMP. This is an easy way, a seamless way. He can even get nomination before you graduate. It is always good for you to follow the right process. Let me tell you about Canada. Canada is a beautiful place. If anybody tells you that Canada is not it, oh, don't bother, don't come, we are all just managing, please do not take it to the bank, because you will not get your change. We have, you know how hardworking we are in our home country. So if you live, in Third Mainland Bridge, you can be there like 6 hours, 7 hours. You are still on the way. Without counting, I'm still on my way to Lagos. In Canada, that 6 hours has to be rewarded because you can't just go to somewhere and put that 6 hours. So we are all hardworking people. And when we come, it is always good for us to follow the right channel so that by the time we come, we enjoy our stay here. Otherwise, you'll be living like, oh, I was not well informed. Omobi has been informing you. So anyone that comes and say, I am not informed, will be like, we are all together in it, because you can't just tell me that somebody will package something for you. If I am representing you, you have to sign a form for me, showing that I am the one representing you. I will be the one to submit the application. I can't create a password and tell you, I will sign, take your password. Some people will come to us and say, oh, they didn't give me visa, I was refused. You will be like, okay, let me find out what actually happened. Okay, they said it's a financial asset issues. Okay, can I see the statement that you submitted? The person will say, oh, the person did not give me. I say, how do you mean that the person did not give you? So I just want to tell you that when you do it the right way, and again, if you have made an application to Canada and they refuse you, always try to find out why. Yeah, always try to find out why. You can use your family members, that's maybe Canadians or permanent resident. You can come to us as an immigration consultant. Always try to find out why, so that by the time we find out why the person, then you can make a good application the next time. You patch whatever the officers concern, you put it together and make another application. In Canada, there's something for everyone. Even if you are a visitor, do you understand? There's something for you. If you can come visit and go back. For a business owner, do you understand? There's something for a business owner, provided you have been doing that and you have that money. You can come as an investor and you enjoy it. So there's something for somebody that approached me the other time, and he told me that he is a self-employed person. I now told him, well, it does not meet our definition. He said, like he's self-employed in Nigeria. I said, yes, but when it comes to immigration purpose, being a self-employed person is different from the definition. Because for you to be a self-employed person, you have to be maybe you might have been in a world-class athletic. You might be an athletic, or you have made a very big name for yourself. Do you understand? So the definition is different. So we always go by definition. So like now, if I tell you if you're talking about family class, my sister of your sibling that is 18 years older than you, 18 years older, is not your family member by definition. Your child that is so years is no longer like 22 years or above, is no longer your family member, but that child can only be your family member if that child is medically incapacitated and that child has been depending on you for a living. That is when that child still becomes your family member. But as soon as that child who has been depending on you medically and financially gets job and starts working, is no longer your family member. If I have a daughter, your daughter who is 20 years old, your daughter that is 16, let's just say 16 years old and is married, that your daughter is still your family, that is married, that your daughter is still your family member, because that your daughter is still less than 8 years old by definition, which is still a child as defined by the United Nations. So that child is still your family member. Your great-grandmother is your family member by definition under family class, but your sister, who is 25 years old, is not your family member. So
So can we take questions now? Thank you so much for this information. You know, I feel like everything you've said is so important because many agents or many unscrupulous agents use lack of information to swindle and to deceive many people. They will just package work visa, and many people will come to my inbox and say, "Oh, please check out this work visa. Is it fake?" And just looking at it, I already know that it's fake. They say, "Well, how do you know?" I said, I just know it's not real because even the process that it takes to get the visa, these guys have not done it. But I quite understand that everybody wants to believe in miracles. So you want to assume positively that your own will be different, but sadly it doesn't happen that way. And one thing I would also want to say is that if you know somebody that came into Canada via a work visa, genuinely, I would suggest that you ask the person how they did so that they can expose you to what to do, because information is really key. Because somebody was telling me that, "Oh, Bobby, do you know so and so and so and so?" I went for a wedding. Our older sister is in Canada. She's working. She got a business visa from Nigeria. And when I did my investigation, I saw that she's on asylum. And I was telling the person that told me that is what it is. You get some people come here and try to but they don't tell you because there are so many reasons why they will not tell you. But they just paint it under work visa because it looks like it's very easy. But I will just employ you to just employ the services of an RCIC. Let them tell you the truth. See, relocation is something that it may not happen now, but if you start your own work well and you start you start the things you're supposed to start doing, you start putting things in place, you start planning well, you would eventually get there. I feel like when people just want to rush and relocate and then they run into serious troubles, then they meet people that will just package the whole thing for them and they lose millions of naira and all of that. And this is money that you don't even have. So I always tell people that, see, plan well and get the right information. It's okay if it will not happen for you today or this year. It could be next year. It could be because you need time to put things in place. Like, for instance, for me, when we were coming through permanent residency, we did not meet the requirements at that time. I got to know about permanent residency. When I got back from the UK in 2014, I already had a master's degree. I'm 1988, so I was like 28 or 29 or maybe 26. Yeah, but I knew I needed to knock off my 3 years work experience. So what did I start doing? I started looking for a job. I did not care where I was going to work. I just want the professional experience, eligible under the express entry pathway. And I got one. And when I knocked off the 3 years, my husband and I put in our application. And so we put in our application in 2018, and 2019 we came to Canada. So from 2014 to 2018, we were planning, and there was even a time to my husband did not even have his master's degree. He went for his master's degree and he came back. He had not lost his own experience because he had a very good back-to-back, no career gaps and all of that in his experience, but he did not have a master's degree. But we needed that master's degree. So he quickly searched for a school where can he quickly do a master's degree within 1 year. And he went to do it in Ghana. And he came back and we put in our, so there were some preparations. So I just feel like people should be patient a little bit. Relocation would happen for as many who believe in it. Trust me, it would happen. But you need to be able to do the work. When you meet an RCIC, for instance, and they tell you that your application is not yet ready or you're not yet meeting the requirement, don't feel bad. Don't feel like people hate you or they don't want you to relocate. No, they are seeing what you are not seeing. And these are the people, they're like the guys between the visa officers and you, so they can see the things that you cannot see. So it's just like for you to go back, do your own homework well, and put in a nice application. And it may take some time, but you would be grateful for it. So like you don't lose money, you don't lose time, you don't come here and realize that you are stuck. You cannot go back because you are on the overstay visa. You are going from looking from you're just doing anything, and then you ask yourself, what the relocation worth it eventually? So it's important that you know this reality. It's not because I'm pro relocation 100%. I support relocation, but I also support it in the right way. And sometimes it just needs you going back to do your own homework and ensuring that you put the eligibility criteria in place for whatever pathway you want to come to, and then you can shoot in your application. So yeah, we can go through questions, right? Is that okay? So, or do you have more things to say or to add?
No, I think what I usually tell my people when they come to my clinic is this: I'm also going to be this for you. That is the very first thing I tell them. Moby, can you mute? Like I can hear myself. Okay, so what I usually tell them when they come to my clinic, and I'm going to leave that for you people, is this. So if you are filling Canadian application form, please pay good attention to that, because some will come and tell you that, sorry, I didn't even know my agent put yes instead no. If the question says, have you ever traveled this and that, yes or no, pay attention. Have you ever been denied Canadian visa? Even if you have a 10-year Canadian visa and you were denied like 10 years ago before you later had your Canadian visa, that question says, have you ever? It is expected of you to say yes. But when you go to that box, you now say, yes, I was denied 15 years ago, but now I have a 10 years visa and I have been to Canada 3 times. If the question says, have you ever been refused Canadian visa or any visa from any country, and you know that you have been refused in the US or even Morocco, please, I expect you to say yes. Then you go to the box and say, yes, I actually applied for US visa and I was refused US visa. Honestly, if you answer yes there, there's what they call 5 eyes country. They see what is happening in immigration files of the other, record of the other. If you have been refused US visa and in Canada you now say yes, no, I was not refused, and they find out, they always send you a letter which they call procedural fairness to reply. That is when you see them running around, coming to meet us. Oh, I didn't know my agent said yes when I said no, this and that. So when you come to us, the only thing we'll say, oh, sorry, I won't be able to defend this case. Look for someone else. Because such a thing, if it is not well handled, honestly, it will amount to what they call misrepresentation, inadmissibility, misrepresentation of facts. So, and that would ban you for making any application for Canada for 5 good years. You know what that means? So I always tell people, number one, be patient and know that coming to Canada takes time and money. You need to spend money. You want to come to Canada as a skilled worker, start thinking of writing an IELTS, and again, start thinking of having your transcript, educational qualification transcribed, and they have 6 bodies that can do that for you. So these are the way we usually prepare them in our clinic. But some people will come and tell you, oh, it is a long way. Hey, I even want to leave my country now. No, you're not leaving now. Because if anybody comes and tells you, even if it's your neighbor or your sister that comes to you and says to you, oh, so sorry, I'm leaving now, I never know, it was even here, it was even yesterday. Please don't take that to the bank, because you won't get your money. You know why? Even if it's studies, they really prepared for that move. Even if it is visiting visa, it was prepared for. So there's nothing like Canada that you just wake up in the morning and you say, oh, it has been in the pipeline, but you can wake up in the morning, you meet a decision, oh, your visa has been approved, or sending your application or your passport. So there's process. Do you understand? Even if when you go to, if I am telling people about study permits now, when the person will tell me, oh, how long am I getting it? Am I getting it today? I say, no, sorry, based on the updates as at yesterday or as at today, it has not changed. It is 6 weeks for those outside, those making application outside Canada. So always, everything you have to see is always in their website. So don't just be in a hurry, because it is when you are in a hurry, you will meet people that also want to help you, because they know you are desperate and they want to take that you have already saved for. So be careful.
So I want to go to the first question. Let me see if I can scroll up to see the first question. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, somebody's asking, do applicants have to pay the employer? I will mute you now. I will mute so that you'll be able to answer that. Do applicants have to pay the employer? Let me see the second question. Who charges the $20K that Udu mentioned? Okay, another question is getting admissions in polytechnic community. I can't, the light is sort of blocking, so please can you move to this side? Yeah.
Myself?
Yes, because I cannot. Yes, okay. Okay, is age. It's a bit. I'm gonna move your head a bit. This side. Yeah. Can you close that curtain? The light is
Okay.
reflecting. Yeah, so I cannot see the words that are there. Correct.
Is it better?
Yes, better. Is age a factor for getting admission in polytechnic, community college, or university? So the first question is, do applicants have to pay the employer? And then who charges the 20K that Udim mentioned? Is age a factor for getting admissions in a polytechnic, community college, or university? We'll try as much as possible to answer as many questions as possible because time is fast spent. So I'll mute and then you can answer them. Thank you.
So, number one, you don't have to pay. An applicant is not meant to pay an employer. It is when you start paying an employer, you know that thing is faulty, right? So I am working for you. You are the one that's supposed to pay me, right? So an applicant is not meant to pay an employer. Thank you. And that's it. Then the second question, no matter your age is not a discrimination in Canada. So you can get an admission, do you understand, to come and study. But just like I said, how are you going to convince the visa officer that this and that you're actually coming in for this? Like, for example, you already have 3 master's degree in Nigeria, and then you want to come to Canada to do another master's. For what? So you ask yourself, if I am the one, will I also buy this? Because if you have 4 masters and you come to me and say, I actually have 4 masters, but I just want to play it down. I want to apply as if I only have 1 master's. Immediately, I will decline to represent you because to me, I already know you have 4 master's degree because they always expect you to provide the transcript of all the education that you have acquired in life. So all you need is, since you already have master's degree, you start talking about, oh my, what should I do? Can I? Yeah, PhD. Like some people, when you meet, because people are not really well informed, they will always believe that PhD is very costly, right? PhD is not costly. PhD is a course that you will do, provided you get a. I think that why they used to find it as being expensive is because they have not. You need to get, because they are researchers, so they need to get a supervisor first. So if you want to do a PhD, start going to schools, researching and to see if you can get any supervisor. So if you're able to get a supervisor or convince a supervisor, it is as cheap, easy as ABC, because sometimes they have lots of money, research funds that you even enjoy while you are schooling. So that is it about the age. Then which 20,000 is the person talking about? For the LMIA, I think it's those agents you people will look for when you land and you say, hey, please, I want to work, I need a work. The person will now tell you, I'll help you to get work. But that work will cost, you pay me 30,000 or 20,000. You know, that kind of a thing. So you have to really be careful. When people start charging such outrageous amount, you are desperate, you're already in it. So just be careful.
Okay. The next question is quite lengthy. I want to apply for Saskatchewan. I want to apply to Saskatchewan Polytechnic for a postgraduate program in business management, but their requirement is 3 years degree. Now, my question: I have an HND and a master's degree. I have HND and a master's degree. Will I be eligible? Because when I sent a mail to the school telling them I have HND alone, they said it's bachelor's degree they required for the program.
Okay, so that would before you apply to school, always look out for what's it called? Always look out for their minimum educational standard. Look out what they want there. So if they also want you to transcribe your transcript, if they want your transcript to be assessed by WES, you go through the WES and exactly assess it yourself with their point-based calculator to know whether you meet that 70%. But if they say they want a bachelor's degree at the bachelor's level, that means they actually want a bachelor's degree, a university bachelor's. But always find out from them. So I am not an assessor, I am just a student recruiter. So I think you find out from them. Yeah.
Okay, another question is, can one use an early years work experience in the school for care job? That's first question. The second question is, if I work as a pharmacy technician in Canada, how do I go about it? I think this person is asking for the pathway. The third one is, how easy will I be able to get a teaching job in Canada after a master's program in education in the UK? Do I repeat the questions? It's fine.
I can read the. Okay, start the first one again. You asked 3 questions.
Yeah. Can I use an early years work experience in the school for care job? In the school for care job?
Which school? If the school is in Nigeria or here, all the person needs to know, you need to get an employer, right? So care job is a care job. Even an SS3, you need, because if I list a job that I want, they always state the qualification there. So secondary school, this and that. Maybe you need to have the one they call CPR, first aid. They need to state all that you're supposed to have there. Do you understand? So you find out from yourself to know whether this is really what they wanted. Yeah.
The next question is, if I want to work as a pharmacy technician in Canada, how do I go about it?
Oh, when you want to be a pharmacy technician, if you're a pharmacist, so you need to go through to see what you go. First of all, go to Google. Let me make it easy for you. Google. Then you type in NOC for pharmacy technician. You need to know the NOC first. Pharmacy technician. You type it in Google to know the LOC first. I think the NOC is 322.124. Then it will open, it will take you to the employment ESDC. When it opens, you will see pharmacy technicians. The titles of that, their main duties, employment requirements. Pharmacy technicians usually require a 2-year pharmacy technician college program or completion of a 2 to 3 years, this and that. So when you do this, like when you refine it like this, you know what they actually wanted and see the body in charge of them, completion of the pharmacy examination board. So you follow it up with that one. Do you understand? It's required. When they say it's required, it then means it is a must. So you follow it up from them to see if you can get the certification. So from there, you can now find out, start looking for maybe Saskatchewan, because I think Saskatchewan hires them for SIMP and whatever, but you need to have all this, because even when they invite you for nomination, they send you an IT and you go for nomination. They will always come here. This is the way they will always, because usually SIMP or provincial nominee, they are usually what we call rule-based application, because they follow everything to the letter. So they will come here to know whether you have this or whether you have that. If you're going to Quebec, you can see the body responsible. All technicians, registration with a regulatory body is required for pharmacy technicians in all provinces. You can see Saskatchewan, you must register with their body, except Quebec, except if you are going to Quebec, you don't need it. But this is always the place. Any job you want to look for, any skilled labor, whatever, anything you want to do, this is where you will come from. Just like the person that asks of early childhood, you come back here again and you find out what is required of them. NOC for early childhood. You go through the search engine. NOC for search engine. NOC for early childhood.
I think we can
so
we can give people to do.
Yeah.
Let's do the next question. Yeah. How easy would it be to get a teaching job in Canada for a master's program after a master's program in education in the UK?
Okay, UK is know one thing about Canada. They usually value UK education, right? So when you are doing that, you also you go through the same place I asked of to know what is required of a teacher, because I think teaching is a regulated profession in Canada. You find out, and at the same time, go through Nova Scotia. I think there's something they have for their teachers. One time they were looking for teachers. Yeah, so if I have anything, I'll always come online to announce it, create awareness, just like the way I created when Nova Scotia is listed Nigeria as one of the designated countries they are looking for. So yeah.
Okay, the next question is how can we follow up for a job in Canada here in Nigeria? I think that's the beginning of the session. The session has already been, you've already answered that in the beginning of the session. So if you go back to listen to it when we're close, you will be able to get answers to this question. I want to add my husband to my student visa application. What explanation can I give in my SOP to convince the visa officer?
Okay, so if you want to add your husband to Canada, is a peaceful, loving country that always like to welcome families. They do not say you should not come with your family, but the thing is that number one, if you are coming, for example, if your tuition is 20,000, that is number one. Canada will expect you to have extra 10,000 for living expenses, which is 30,000 plus board. That is burden is a transportation. Maybe plus or minus, I used to say 4,000 for transportation, that is 34,000. So if you are coming with your spouse, which is your husband, so you have extra 4,000 for your husband. So if you have like two, there are 4,000 plus that 34,000 is 38,000. So if you have any other two kids you want to add, you're expected to have extra 33,000 for each of them, which is 33,000 for each of them, which is 38 plus 6,000 is whatever amount it gives you. But remember that you also need to have board, that is the flight etiquette, the cost for each of them, the way you budgeted 4,000 for your own flight, that's the same way you budget extra whatever. So try to ensure you have this money in your statement of account. That is number one way to convince them. And another way, easiest way, if you can pay the school fees, which will show that there's an intention this person actually have. They do not expect you to pay school fees, right? But by the time you now pay school fees, it shows that you have a genuine intention. And secondly, you can go through the GIC notes. As GIC, that is Guarantee Investment Certificate. You can get that one through CIBC when you are still in Nigeria. You know, when you do this, when you buy this particular fund and add it to your application, you don't really need to say so much regarding that proof of fund because you have already certified, you have already shown the visa officer that number one, I have paid my tuition, and at the same time, I have already provided my money in a guaranteed investment fund, in which when I land in Canada, the bank is not going to give it to me 100% on it, but rather they will make a kind of a payment schedule whereby every month that particular amount you invested with them, like maybe if it is 10,000, they will divide it into 12. So that is your monthly upkeep. Every month the bank will debit you with that, will credit you with that. So you have already satisfied the visa officer at one end that, oh, I have this money, because what is requested of you is not the money for the entire duration of studies. What they require is for just 1 year, that amount to cover the living expenses. And if you are coming from with your husband, be able to state what you are doing and what your husband will help you to achieve. Right? So if you are coming with your child, you state in your statement of papers, because you need to make a very beautiful, a very strong statement of papers to show why your spouse is coming with you. Let them know. Don't just say he is going to come and be working. Just state how you people have been together. Coming with him will enable you to be your very best in school. I think we also help you to take care of the children when you are off for school, right? You know, yeah, try to, yeah.
Okay, let's go on. Somebody is saying, can somebody with zero capital of funds migrate successfully? It is so capital intensive. The answer is no, right? Please ask the guest of her name and how to reach her on social media. Okay, Facebook page is greens, like color green for grass, greens on gardener.
Yeah, so we talk about immigration consulting.
Yeah.
That's the name implies. It's situated in the beautiful grace of Ghana area of Regina. Yeah. Oh, I will be here. I will be here.
Okay, the next one is
You will
I'm
be
in
here.
Nigeria. What is the
You are mute. I didn't hear you.
oh okay, I am a teacher in Nigeria. What is the best route for me to migrate in Canada?
The same way, just you can look for, first of all, you check your age, go through the 6 selection factors to know your minimum, whatever, what is required of you. So if you want to come as a skilled worker, if you have husband, try to also get him involved. Yeah, if you have a spouse, try to also get him involved. Let him assist you to write that IELTS and give you 5 points. It's an easy way. Yeah. So you take it from there.
The next one is, what are the chances of relocating via visiting visa? Sorry, I joined late, no power. Okay, this question has been answered in the beginning of the live session. Yeah, so good evening. Thank you very much. Okay. I've been sending messages to GICC on WhatsApp and her social handles, but there's no response from her. How do we get across her? So please, could you ask?
Honestly, I have about 134,000 text messages, right? To 100 and 1,000 and 1,334 text messages to reply to. So we are taking it from the oldest in, the oldest out, FIFO, LIFO method. That is what we are using. But we're still getting there because now is a very rush period for us because of we are trying to meet up with students coming for their fall section. Do you understand? So we are trying to meet up because we need to push out that application before the processing time changes. So we are trying to, and when you are writing submission letter or looking at students' SOP is not what I actually like leaving for my team to do because I need to do all those things, go through it, ensure that I was actually getting that the person, to know how to correct the person and how to weigh in. If it is something that I know that it will not work out immediately, I will always tell the person, oh, wait, this is what you're supposed to do. So we are not always in a haste, do you understand, to attend to these people that come to our clinic because I know they have reasons, right, before coming. It is something they will actually want to do on their own if they want to do better. Looking for professionals like us to handle these things to us, we'll have to give them our time also. Please bear with us, we will actually get to that. But some people we are fortunate for yesterday because when I was actually doing something in the computer, I saw some text messages popping in. So I found out that somebody one text message like 20 at once. So I was able to reply to those people. And some that came, I said, if you can join into today's live section, you'll be able to get one thing or the other. But please, I beg each and every one of you, know that our consultation is not free. Our initial consultation is usually 60,000. It is supposed to be $100 for 30 minutes. If you go to our website, that is what it was stated there. For 1 hour, it's supposed to be $150. But looking at find that sometimes Nigerians they find it difficult making appointments online because sometimes our card may not allow to do that, except those that have maybe a Visa card, a dollar Visa card, or maybe pounds or in foreign denominations. That is when it will allow them. So because of that, we decided to reduce it to 60,000 for them for 1 hour, right? So this is initial consultation. It is not the cost for retaining us. Initial consultation is usually the time you will come and we'll have one-on-one discussion with you. And it will tell you the immigration pathway that you're supposed to follow. And we'll give you we customize it to suit your needs. We design it in the way that we'll tell you the dollar, the kobo, it will start you from start to finish. The only thing we do not tell people, but we always let them expect is, number one, we don't know how much they use for medical, for those that require medical, the amount that they will be asked to pay by their panel physicians, we do not know that particular amount. And secondly, we do not tell people that this is what your school will charge you for transcript, but we always prepare them to let them know that schools usually ask for money for transcript, and then their money is not fixed, because Unilag might sell you 20,000, and now just might tell you 100 naira. So I will always expect them to know that when they ask for this, don't be like, oh, why am I just hearing this? We prepare them. And at the same time, tell them that that is not enough for some schools, because after issuing this transcript, West will also want to verify from your schools whether they actually issued this transcript. That is when some school will also tell you, pay us so for verification. And you will now start asking yourself, but I actually paid the school 50,000 naira when this transcript was issued. Why are they now still asking me to pay 100,000 for the transcript they themselves issued? So we do not really have that answer to give you, but all we tell them is to prepare, so that once they hear that, they will not be like, oh, I am just hearing it for the first time. So that's what we do in our clinic. We give you the correct immigration pathway to follow, so that if you listen and if you actually wanted to follow that, I assure you, honestly, you'll come to Canada in the right way and you'll enjoy it.
Okay, the next question is, what is the best immigration route for a PhD holder?
You're supposed to know what you, for a PhD holder. So it depends on what you want. Just like I told you, if you're a PhD holder want to come to Canada through immigration pathway, be assured that, number one, if you have your transcript assessed, right, you are taking the highest mark there, which is a 25/25. If the age is by your corner, you get, it's just the same way other people will come in the same way you will come, but you have to find out where you major in to see the people that will hire you. Look for some provinces to know if they are hiring PhD or if they do this, and that. So it will be suitable for you. So the answer, I think you might be wanting me to give you like a boom answer, that this, and that. So no, for that immigration pathway as a PhD holder, you need to do this. But if you also want to come, because you already have your PhD in this, you can also look out for schools to see if there's some schools that will be higher, really. But if you have some schools trying to hire you, they might be taking you as maybe as, I don't know, the one they call PhD supervisor, or a PhD instructor supervisor, or whatever. So try to reach out for all these instructors or professors in the school. Try to send them, if they have some work or academic work they have written, try to actually comment on their work and appreciate them for their work. Send them an email and they will reply you. Try to send an email to them. You're mute.
Oh, this person is saying that I'm married and my husband doesn't reside in Nigeria. I would need advice on how to prove home ties with marriage, having in mind that he's not in Nigeria. Yeah.
Can you read the question again?
Her husband is not in Nigeria and she wants to apply for maybe a study permit or something. Yeah. So she's asking how she can prove home ties because her husband doesn't live in Nigeria.
So if you want, what of your if your husband doesn't live in Nigeria and you are the one applying for study permits, you are not the only one. Your husband, your spouse is not the only family ties you have. You have a strong family tie. Like if you have siblings, the siblings should actually form your family ties. If you have children, they are also strong family ties. Another one is if you have property, right? If you have property, that property is a very strong one. You should also claim that because you have a building over there. It is a very strong one. Then if there's other volunteers you have done in the past, maybe your church, your local community church, the kind of work you have been doing for them, your position in the church will also be part of your economic establishment. You can put all this in place. If you have a job you have been doing in Nigeria, like if you're a banker and you want to come to Canada to study, right, you will ask them to give you leave of absence or study leave. So your study leave, they will always state it in your study leave that they will expect you to, because before you make an application, you have already gotten an admission, right? If you give your employer your admission letter, it states your start date and your end date. So your employer should be able to use that to give you, because no employer would, because you are the one seeking for leave, they will give you a study permit. So you will use that your study permit as a very strong trials.
Thank you. So the next question is, how easy is it to change this student visa to work visa in Canada? It has been answered at the beginning of this live. Please, is there any administrative healthcare worker pathway to Canada for those in the UK? One that does not necessarily require a job offer to apply. Is IELTS needed? No. The answer for the first question is no. The answer for the second one is yes. Please, what about in case when we were asked to submit your passport and you didn't get to see the mail early enough and the 30 days elapsed before you saw the mail? Can the passport still be submitted?
Oh, I don't really have that answer, but I don't usually have that answer, but what you should do to them, first of all, send them an email, right? A subtle email, because chances happen and we are all human beings. You can assume you tell them the reason why you were not able to check that, right? It could be that you have something, because people have something they are dealing with. And if you have something you're dealing with, you won't be in the right frame of mind. Send them an email. They'll always reply. Let them be truthful about what you are dealing about the information. Maybe you're preparing for exams and your mind and everything was fixed in your exam at that time. Just write a letter to them and at the same time print your paper, print the exam, the exam time, exam dates, and everything. Do you understand? So if there's any WhatsApp group you form where you are doing those classes, where people are discussing about the forthcoming exam, just print it and put it to them. Let them know that all that was in your mind, you decided to go off social media to ensure you face this exam, to tackle this exam, because this exam is what will place you higher when you go to Canada. You decided to just give it a go because you do not want distraction, because social media itself was distraction. So let them know, right?
For somebody that has HND, works with a multinational company, family of 5, what is the best route? Money is not an issue. Oh shit, money is not an issue. Come on, give me some of this money.
Okay, so yeah, you need to come for consultation with your full family size, with your spouse. Then we'll narrow to know what exactly you find yourself in, what you actually wanted, and to know who will be the client, not just the applicant. Do you understand, between you two, or whether the two of you will be the applicant at the same time? So you need because one needs to know what you are doing currently. One needs to know what your JD job description is. One needs to know whether you're a business owner, right? One needs to know whether you want to invest in if money is not the problem, whether you actually be an investor. So there's something for everyone.
How can somebody who is single prove strong tie to his home country?
I think this was actually answered when the person said that a spouse was not here. So you can also follow that, because when it does not mean that everybody has to marry, right? And there's some case law that really happens up, because there are rules in the states that needs to be in place. There's a way it has been interpreted by the federal courts, right? So yeah, so you need to find out other economic establishments that make it work. Look for your position in your family, right? And tell them how important and how it means so much to your family. Let them also know how important you are in your place of work. Let them also know your affiliation in the society. Let them know the professional membership. Let them know where your stronghold. Let them know what your community means to you, right? That you will not want to go to strange land and remain in strange land. That you can't just be telling them, I am going back to Nigeria, I am going back to Nigeria. That is word of mouth. When you say, I am going back to Nigeria, you state you provide an evidence why you are going back to Nigeria. Like, for example, let me put it this way. I will say to them, oh, at the end of my studies, I'm excited to study banking and finance in Canada because at the end of my studies, my employer is actually promotion is waiting for me for upgrading my skills. You can see here is a copy of my of the letter leave of absence from my employer, buttressing what I have said. So this is the fact, right? And this is the evidence. Always try to evidence your point. Yeah, it helps.
This person is asking, my wife is 20 years old. I am now 39 years old. Can I go to the community college for a CCA or write another WAEC?
How do you want to write to another WAEC? We have already discussed this before, right? You don't have, why would you write another WAEC? Use what you have. So like now, how, you don't need to, I know in Nigeria, I have already gotten my master's before I came to Canada, and I still went back to do my BSc. I went to do, before going further, I did my BSc because I wanted to be a social worker, right? And it is required that you can only do that. You don't have to, you can only do that starting afresh, right? With a 4 years degree. So that was what I did. So your WAEC, nobody, I have never seen anybody that wrote, you have everything and you still want to go back. So that WAEC is enough for you to look for what you want to do. Okay, so rather you can use the money and save your time. If you have the money, you go for CCA.
Nice, thank you. For somebody, there are so many questions. Are we going to be able to take them? Maybe I'll just.
Yeah, let them know we'll have another time, another session.
Yeah, we're gonna finish by in the next 22 minutes. Yeah, so we'll try and say the questions you could answer within the next
22 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
22 minutes.
It's too long. Should we round up?
No, 22 minutes. Is this supposed to be 45 minutes section, right? And
Yeah, I know.
We have some hiccups when we started. So I think we should be rounding up in the next 5 minutes because I'm having an appointment. We'll have round up in the next 5 minutes, please.
Okay, I'll just take questions randomly. Please, I apologize if I do not take your questions, please. I have a degree, but applying for a college program. But I'm applying for a college program because it will serve my purpose. College is being career-oriented with hands-on experience. Now, the diploma program is asking for high school certificate as the highest educational requirement. Should I upload also my degree certificate while making the application?
Yeah, it is always good for you to provide all the documents you have. That if you are providing your high school, always know that, like I know that formerly University of Virginia used to use those ones you get online, but which we will support with a scratch card that has not been used more than 3 times. But nowadays, it's no longer like that. What they require of you is that original WAEC they usually give to the school that carries your image and your date of birth. So always put that one in place and let other degrees you have be an added advantage to you. You're mute. You're mute. Obi, you're mute. I want to see.
I was muted. Ah, thank you. So I just want to. I was saying that, oh, sorry, we cannot take more questions. We apologize to everybody whose questions were not answered. We try to do it alphabetical order, but it's very impossible to take everybody's questions. But there will be a rundown next month on the 15th of July, same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And we hope that if your questions were not answered, you would come back on the 15th of July to drop your questions and also listen. But there would be you will get a due notice prior to the session. Yeah, so I also said that on behalf of myself and my community, CIH, Canadian Immigration Hub, we really want to say thank you to you for coming to this live session. Thank you for teaching us this truth, and these realities that exist. We hope that people will use this information to better the application process and to also give themselves some time to prepare their document and not just push in for applications without being ready. It is very important that people are ready. So I also want to ask if you have any last words, how people can reach you. Any last words for people, and we round up.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I really appreciate you people. The best time to reach us and the best place is to always make that appointment online, because when you make appointment, it will give you a guaranteed time that you will select for. So when you book this appointment, the time will be created for you and will be there for you. And secondly, because I stated actually that people find it difficult to make an appointment online. So the billing ones, when they send us an email, sometimes they will send us an email and say, please, I wanted to make an appointment, but my card is not letting me. How else can we make this appointment? So that is when we now said, okay, the person is aware. We will now send the person a copy of our Naira account. The person will pay the money into our Naira account. That's 60,000. Then when the person pays the money to our account, we give the person the available time for the person to take a slot. So once the person takes that slot, we lock it in and we mop it up in our website, and we can go with that. But please, I need to beg each and everyone, just be patient, because just be patient. This is just what we are just trying to do to ensure that everyone get the right information that is happening. Because any information I am dealing with you people, as a consultant, I do not need to use yesterday's information, because as I'm talking to you, something might have changed, right? So I will use that information. Please book those appointments and just let you know that that is not really where it is. Because after meeting with us, the information you will get from us is enough for you to carry on if you want to do it on your own. But if you actually want us to do it, then we'll give you our retainership agreement. You need to sign that retainership agreement, then to see the services we are offer. So we are going to agree on that. So once we agree, then we'll now take it from there. And at the end of our business, and when you have gotten all that you have required, we'll also provide all those documents you submitted to us and the one we use in doing this. They are your own documents. We'll provide it. We'll return them back to you. But I need to beg each and everyone, we are not doing it. You need to give us all the information we need to work with, has to come with you, because we'll give you a list to tell you actually what we wanted you to provide for us. Do you understand? So that is how we do our business. Yeah.
Okay, please could you drop your social media handles? You could just say it on so that people can follow you, and and how people can reach you personally. I think that if they click on your account on this, they will be able to see your page and they can follow you.
My page is there, my WhatsApp is there, my Instagram is a verified account. So, and it's Greens on Gardner on Immigration Consulting Clinic. And my Facebook is also Greens on Gardner Immigration Consulting Clinic. Our WhatsApp is there. Once you click on the WhatsApp, it will take you there. Our email is info@ggitc So GGICCA is Grace on Gardner Immigration Consulting Clinic. Then our phone number is 1-639-382-9ICC. That is 1-639-382-9422. Or you can type in 1ICC in your keypad here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So guys, thank you so much for being here till the end of this live. So this is where we close the curtain and we say goodbye to you. Good night. Have a lovely night rest, and we'll see you on the 15th of July 2023. Same time, same station, same person, same everything. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.